All right, so we're going over exam essays and a few tips that might help you when you're writing them, bearing in mind that they are a bit different from take-home essays. Now, the first thing you want to do is read your question carefully because you don't want to start on a tangent that you won't be able to wrap back into what you should actually be answering later on in the exam because you might not have time at that point. So if we've got the question here, discuss the factors involved in William of Normandy's victory at the Battle of Hastings in 1066 and the significance of the battle for England as a whole. Now, if I'm reading that, I'm seeing essentially two parts, and the first part is factors, and the second part is significance, more or less. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline my essay because, again, we are on a time limit, and I will not have time, as I would with a take-home essay, to go back and add things that I missed or rearrange my structure. So I want to make sure from the start that I really know what I'm going to hit and in what order. So fortunately, I have been doing my studying, so I know that the most important factors in William of Normandy's victory include that he had a greater number of troops, something like 15,000 to 5,000 for Harold, King of England. I know that he had superior generalship to Harold. And I know that Harold had to deal with some undisciplined farmer soldiers. All right, there's more. I might not be able to get to it. If I can later, great, but right now I've got that part more or less planned out. As for the significance, well, I know that because William took over the power structures of England and substituted French in as the language of power, that it was essentially the end of Old English as a language. And from that point, you get the start of Middle English. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to start writing because at this point, I know what my plan is. I know what points I'm going to hit and in what order. And as I start writing, I'm not going to worry too much about how things sound. If something's grammatically incorrect, I'll fix that. But again, I'm on a time limit and I'm not going to have time to make everything sound as pretty as I would like it to. So let's just start and let's say something like, well, William of Normandy won the Battle of Hastings through his own merits for the most part, but he was also helped by some failings on the part of Harold's army, or something like that. In the end, this battle changed the face, or the tongues, we'll say that. That sounds a little bit nice, so I'll allow myself that, of the English language forever. And from here, I'm just going to start writing. I'm going to go through my factors, and then I'm going to go into my significance. And like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about how things sound. There are obviously other things that you should be thinking about or might help you to think about when it comes to writing an exam essay, and you'll see those below on this page. And I encourage you to check out that handout if you have any further questions.